When Jesus showed up, he did not come with an army. He didn't come with a host of men, soldiers, or an army that could be seen with the carnal eye. And he went to places that the religious right would not go. They tried to trick him. They got upset with him. He did things on the Sabbath that rebuked his disciples. And yet all the while Jesus was trying to break a paradigm. He was trying to break a religious system. We who are been raised in the apostolic church are used to a certain way of having church, a certain way of reaching people. We harvest the same way. We have revivals, we have evangelists, we pray people through. Some stay, some don't. We grow a little here and a little there. But I think the hour is so pressing upon the church and the need is so great that somehow we've got to change our formula. Not the formula of salvation, but the methodology of which we reach the lost with. There is no cure-all, there is no guarantee, there is no one-size-fits-all. Programs that will work here may not work on the East Coast or the West Coast or in Louisiana or Mississippi. But there is one prevailing factor. People need God. Not just unsaved people. Church people need God. So I said here, I have not been to any of the meetings. This is something my wife is passionate about, and for obvious reasons, hers to tell. But I sat here on the mock meeting last night or Monday night and was absolutely broken in places I didn't think I'd ever be broken, moved in ways I'd never felt like I could be moved, listening to true, authentic stories of people that I have preached to for a year, 3 years, 6 years, people that worship, people that clap, people that give, people that show up. Little did I know the hurts, the habits, and the hang-ups. Had no idea. We are masters at hypocrisy. Some of you got offended there. We just learned to play the game. We've learned how to keep a shield, and we learned how to put up a facade, and we don't want anybody in to know that we're really messed up. Because if you think I'm messed up, you may not like me or I may not fit in the group. But really the group is people who are messed up and know it. Well, I'll go this way. Really the group that you want to be in are those that are messed up and know it. Instead of coming in here and acting like everything's fine, lifting your hands and worshiping and going home with bitterness and hatred and stuff buried in your past that's undealt with, unresolved, cancerous, and eating you alive. Let's leave that all back there. Let's just act like everything's fine. No wonder we can't get people to show up for outreach. No wonder you can't get people to really love God like they're supposed to. They're so caught up in hiding their hurts. No wonder you can't get real apostolic fellowship in an apostolic church, because if you start fellowshipping, you just might see the real. So tonight, this is not the only method this church will use to win the city. This is not the only tool in our toolbox, but it will be a tool that we will use, and we're going to lean on it heavily. So in the next little bit, go ahead. In the next little bit, we're going to turn this over to them, and you're going to see what they're calling a mock H7 night. Now, I don't want to offend anybody, but when the testimonies start, we're going offline because testimonies stay in the house. Testimonies are not to be recorded. They're not to be shown to anybody. They stay right here. And what they share is up to them, but you're going to see the power of what talking about it and what giving things to God can do. And that's the whole ministry of this H7 program. So I want you to lift your voice and your hands and welcome the presence of God. We're going to sing and we're going to rejoice here, and that's part of this. But as you worship, this thing is officially started in Jesus' name.
Tears and sorrows, I've had questions for tomorrow. There's been times I didn't know right from wrong, but in every situation, God gave me blessed consolation that my trials come to only make me strong. That's the reason I sing through it all. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. And I've been to lots of places, and I've seen a lot of faces. There's been times I felt so all alone. But in my lonely hours, yes, those precious lonely hours, Jesus lets me know that I am His own. And that's the reason I sing through it all. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Oh, I sing through it all. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I learned to trust in God. Through it all, through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. So I thank God for my mountains, and I thank Him for my valleys, and I thank Him for all the storms that He has brought me through. For if I never had a problem, I'd never know that God could solve them. I'd never know what faith in His word could do. So that's the reason I sing through it all. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I learned to trust in God. Through it all, through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. So I'll sing it out loud. Through it all, to trust in Jesus. I learned to trust in God through it all. Through it all, I learned to depend upon His word. Oh, I learned to depend upon His word. Oh, yes, I learned to depend upon His word.
You may be seated. Everybody is seated. Well, welcome to an H7 meeting. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what in the world is going on tonight. Well, let me tell you, this is probably one of the most real, most intimate, most eye-opening service you're ever going to be in. 7 is, it's a very special ministry. Our goal is to help those with hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Our goal is to help those with addictions. Our goal is to help bring people to Jesus Christ. That's our goal. H7 is a Christ-centered, Spirit-filled, and Spirit-led recovery group. In the book of Acts Church, it was in small group meetings that the gospel of Jesus Christ was spread. Acts 5:42 says, day after day, in the temple courts and from house to house, they never stopped teaching and proclaiming the good news that Jesus is Messiah. H7 is our house. When we meet on Monday evenings over in the Life Center, that's our house. And we will continue to teach and proclaim the good news that Jesus is the Messiah and that He came to break every chain. Every chain of addiction, to give hope for hurts, habits, and hang-ups. H7 is a place that helps to make life-changing relationships with Jesus and with others. It is a safe, non-judgmental place for the addicted and the hurting to come and find compassion and acceptance. When they walk through those doors, our arms are open. There is no judgment. We are all on the same level, the same playing field. We're all there for the same reason. It's a place to share life's successes and to share our failures and to grow in faith together. It's a place to connect. It's a family. H7 is a place to protect and to be protected. And we are very protective of those that attend H7 meetings. It's a place where failure is not final. And there are people who we help get back, we help them get back up. And a place where the smallest win is always celebrated. We love to celebrate at H7. 1 John 3:16, hereby perceive we the love of God because He laid down His life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. H7 is something that we are completely committed to. It doesn't matter if that Monday night falls on Christmas. It doesn't matter if it's Memorial Day. It doesn't matter if it's the 4th of July. The doors are open. These people that you see sitting up here with me today, they are committed to this ministry. And it doesn't matter what happens, what comes. We know that we will open the doors for those in this city that are wanting help every Monday night. H7 is a place to grow. We provide a place for addicted, recovering people and or their family members to become firmly grounded in their recovery and deliverance by growing in their relationship with Jesus, to become more like him and to reach the potential that God has placed inside of them. Because every person has potential that God has placed inside of them. They may be lost right now. They may not know what that potential is. They may not feel like they have potential. They may absolutely feel worthless. But when they come to H7 and they walk through those doors, our goal is to let them know they are loved and to let them know that there is potential in them and that they do have hope. Their life is not hopeless. They have hope. Love and tolerance of others is our code. Loving people right where they are until they are ready to take that first step. The first step is, I am powerless over my problem and my life has become unmanageable. Believe it or not, admitting that is probably the hardest thing a person will do. It's very difficult to walk in those doors and say, I'm powerless over my problem. I absolutely don't know what to do. That's a hard thing for anyone to admit. But when they walk through those doors, we want them to know, you know what? We've been there too. We have felt hopeless. We have felt powerless. And we believe that you are full of potential. And we want you to know that God is going to do a work in your life and you can change. Everyone up here tonight has a story. We all have a story. All of you sitting in the pews here today, you have a story. I have a story. There's things so many of us are not proud of in our lives. There's things that we have done. There's problems we have had. There's things we have gone through that we simply do not want other people to know. Everybody has that, right? But when you sit in one of these meetings and you listen to other people share their testimony and you hear them talk about what God has delivered them from or what they're struggling with, it helps you to understand, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. If they can get through that, then I can get through that. If they can recover from addiction, then I can recover from addiction. It simply gives you hope. And in the world that we live in today, so many people feel lost and without hope. So tonight, as you join us for our H7 meeting, please don't judge. You're going to hear things that you're going to be very surprised about. You're going to hear things and you're going to go, oh my goodness, I would have never dreamed. But you know what? They're getting help. They're learning how to get past those habits. They're learning how to get past those hurts. They're learning how to see that they have value. Sometimes you feel like you have absolutely no value. It was just like Brother Whitaker was preaching on Sunday. We feel like the smallest particle of dirt. But oh, look what the dirt can become. And that's what H7 is for, is to help us know we have value, we have hope, and we can recover, and we can be better. I'm going to ask Sister Rhea to come. She is going to read our steps with you tonight. Join in with us tonight. I know this is different. I know you're not accustomed to a meeting. I wasn't either. I'm going to be honest. The first time I went to a meeting, I was like, why am I here? But it didn't take me long to realize how desperately I needed a meeting. And so every Monday night, if I'm in town, I go to a meeting because that's how I get through my week. That's how I get through my days. You're going to see, I hope, through the testimonies that you hear tonight, how important it is to go to a meeting.
Hello, my name is Rhea, and I am a believer, and I struggle with trust. So tonight, before I start, I'm going to have each person on this platform stand and introduce themselves to you.
Hi, my name is Sandra Morgan. I am a believer who struggles with depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts.
Hello, my name is Erica, and I'm a believer who struggles with anxiety.